Hello, welcome everybody. This is Monica, Empower Your Health, Empower Your Life TV. And I just want to thank you so much for being here, for your time, for coming in here to listen to our interview with a very, very special guest. I promise it will be worth your time. You will come out with a lot of gifts and a lot of huge enrichment for your soul and for your spirit and for your body and mind. So I'm so grateful for you and so grateful, for you being here and watching us. So I just want to ask you a question actually before we get started. So have you ever felt like maybe you're trying to achieve something really hard in your life, you're trying to get something and it's just not working, something's coming up and you just don't seem to know how to go about this, but it's a big desire in your heart perhaps? So I believe that today we're going to talk a little bit more about what is really going on underneath the surface. And we have a very special guest who's going to help you achieve your goals and become a very much more successful person and a healthier and more vibrant and full of well-being person. So today we're going to welcome a very special guest, Maegan Aleece. Hello, Maegan. How are you?
I am so great and so honored and thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Well, tell us a little bit more about where you're from and what brings you on the show.
Awesome. All right. Well, I am from Canada, cold winter Canada, but currently not there in Florida right now. So that's why the sun is shining behind me. And Monica, you brought me to the show, our Tony Robbins connection, which has been wonderful. We're a part of the family and the group. So very excited to share what I have learned that's led me on this journey of self-improvement, self-discovery, and so grateful to be here. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. I am just very, very grateful for you being here and taking your time and, saying yes to my invitation. And because we cannot wait to hear about your work and what you do. So tell us a little bit more about what you do in life and work.
Of course. So I am a rapid transformational therapist and I trained under world-renowned Marissa Peer. I 100% put her in the category of Tony Robbins, and what rapid transformational therapy is just like it sounds, 1 max 3 sessions to work on a concerning issue or problem, a limiting belief, a mental health struggle, or even physical body pains that you're going through or any type of dis-ease. I don't specialize in the physical side of things. I really focus on the mental health as well as the limiting beliefs, because that is just where my heart and my passion is. So I just let that guide me to where I need to serve and impact the greatest amount of people, and that's where I fall into. And what the difference between rapid transformational therapy and regular talk therapy is we deal with your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind, if you're not familiar, is your programs mind, your habits mind, your autopilot mind. And research and studies show that we run off of this autopilot mind 95% of our day. So if you want to make rapid, drastic, permanent changes, you have to focus on that subconscious mind. But how you access it, there's a few ways, either while you're dreaming or when you are in hypnosis. And we actually do pass through hypnosis in our day, in the morning and in the night. And I can teach your listeners a fun little self-hypnosis that they can do. But this is what our therapy really focuses on, is putting you into hypnosis so we can get the answers as to the root, the reason, and the cause of your limiting belief or your mental health struggle. Because if you're just taking medication, which nothing against it, of course, if you need it, take it, but it's really not getting to the root of it. It's really putting like a band-aid over a wound that really needs stitches, and it's just going to keep opening up with this band-aid unless you stitch it up and get to that root. So that's what RTT really allows you to get to. And when you're in that hypnotic state, because your conscious mind, the rational, analytical part of your mind has really toned down, shut down, because you're in that really relaxed state, your subconscious is so open to suggestions, to new beliefs, to new ideas. So this is why it works so effectively and rapidly.
Wow. It seems to me like you're doing a very, very deep work with people and really taking them very deep. So can you tell us more about how did you get to do this work? What is your story, your background?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in the body. I took a degree of health sciences and it heavily focused on the body. And then I got really involved into exercise and fitness. I had many mental health struggles myself, so I thought fixing my body or doing the body piece of it, like the medical standards really showcase to us, was what the answer was. And I was sadly disappointed to just add on another mental health disorder of orthorexia and exercise addiction on top of what I was already going through. So finally I was like, this is not the avenue. I'm missing something here. This is not what life is meant to be, is just suffering from all these issues. So I found a hypnotherapist, and call it guidance, call it whatever it may be. Someone watching this right now, you were guided to watch this. So even if you don't believe in that, there's a reason why you're here. Perhaps it's for yourself or information you're going to be able to share with somebody else. But back to my story, I was guided to take or go see a hypnotherapist. And after 3 sessions with this hypnotherapist, my life already started to transform and the thought processes in my mind started to change. I went from being on a hamster wheel of constant thoughts to it being slowed down. I was able to rationally see what was going on and not wake up with panic and go to bed with anxiety. So I was like, there is something here. This changed after meditation, after yoga, after therapy. None of that worked like this hypnotherapy sessions worked. So then I found I was just delving so deep into the self-improvement and development. I was like, this is it. This is what I've been missing. And I didn't want to do medication. I didn't want to do the drugs. I know the effects it has on the physical body, how hard it is to get off of it. I just didn't want to take that route. So then I was on YouTube and I was listening to Tony Robbins and I was listening to Marissa Peer. And then when I found out Marissa Peer herself was a hypnotherapist and had her own hypnotherapy brand under her, that she's been a therapist for 33 years, and the results she got after 1 to 3 sessions, I was like, this is what I need to do. It took hypnotherapy to another even bigger level. So I knew if I got results at just the hypnotherapy lift, to add on the rapid transformational techniques that she has trademarked, I just knew that not only for myself, but to be able to offer this to people to help transform their lives. I want to be on that cutting edge. I want to be in that wave. I want to educate people that you don't need to look outside of yourself for the answers, for the healing, because you are the medicine. It's within. So I was just so drawn to it. And when I took her training and took the RTT training, my life has changed. Full blown into my career path. It's put me on that course of even more self-improvement and discovery. And I get to be a catalyst and a guide for others in their journey. And I get texts every day. I get emails every day. I get from people I've worked with, or just posts that I share from this knowledge that I know. So just that ripple effect to inspire, motivate, guide, help others on their healing journey. It is the greatest gift I can truly give.
Wow. You know what I feel the most is your passion, and that how energized you are and how much, drive and love for this work you have, and it just manifests through you. So to me, it's like you're a walking example of how this therapy really can bring an amazing um, healing, but also you yourself, you're just like a channel of it. So I want to acknowledge that, because it's really powerful. And I think just being in your presence, gives us that energy. It's like, how can I push through my beliefs? So wow, I want to acknowledge that it's really powerful. I can see it, and I know our listeners can as well.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, wow. So can you tell us more about how you work with people and share some stories, share how you help people go through that, use that cutting edge technology that I would say to.
Yeah, well, our minds, our subconscious minds, our technology, that innate wisdom, that innate intelligence that we were born with, that nobody really gave us the guidebook to use. And now it's really coming to light the more we learn about our minds and our hearts, and how their mind and the body is interconnected, and how we can intertwine them and use them together to free ourselves. It is a technology itself, you can call it. So when I work with people, it's one session that runs 90 minutes to 2 hours. And the first 20 minutes where I'm gaining background information about what your concerning issue is, what your limiting belief may be. I'm listening for keywords, how they're speaking. I'm looking at their body language, and it's done online, which is a beautiful thing. So I can be anywhere in the world, and my clients can be as well. All you really need to have is an internet connection and to hear my voice. So when I'm gaining that background information, I'm looking, but it's only for about like 20 minutes. And then the juicy part of the session where I get to be a detective and really like investigate what's going on here in their subconscious that is leading to their current reality or their limiting belief, is when they get in hypnosis. So while they're in hypnosis, and some people are like, oh my gosh, hypnosis, that seems like super scary. Like, are you going to make me dance like a chicken or quack like a duck? And am I going to be stuck in it forever? But hypnosis is such a natural state. It's a low alpha theta brainwave state, which you actually pass through right before you get out of bed when you're still in that groggy state, and right when you're drifting off to sleep when you're in that groggy state. So this is when you're highly suggestible. So if you're watching an infomercial late at night or the news, like, you're feeding that into your subconscious. So that's why you wake up and you're like, I need that thigh master that the infomercial told me about. You don't actually need it. You're just so suggestible that your subconscious thinks you need it. Anyways, so when they're in hypnosis, we actually are having a conversation. Their eyes are closed, and I'm asking their mind the root, the reason, and the cause of their limiting belief, of their mental health struggle, of whatever they've come to see me for. And I've had people come see me from binge eating in the middle of the night to not thinking that they were beautiful. Like, I had this beautiful woman, and she just thought she was hideous, and she hated her body. She was in such great shape, but her mind was a body image issue, right? Like, so to free yourself from that, and I can relate, to look in the mirror and just think you're so ugly, like, that is hard enough to explain to someone, but to be trapped in like your own body, so to be able to free her from that was like, whew, beautiful. I work with moms to help them free themselves from anxiety, drinking, right? Just to be a better mom. So now at this point, it's not just for yourself, but your why is so big for your children. And I'm so passionate to work with moms because my mom suffered from mental health. So it got passed down onto me, and that generational pain and that generational trauma can end with you. You have to decide that that cycle ends. So I love working with people that have childhood pain or trauma, and they need to work through their memories. So what comes up from when I ask their subconscious where the root is, they actually see memories. I'm not seeing it, but they're explaining to me what they're seeing. And then I'm very intentional with the questions I ask, because ask a question and you shall receive. So some people are like, well, I probably know why I have this belief or why I have this issue. You consciously think you know, but when I work with my clients and I ask them at the end, were you surprised what memories and what scenes showed up? They're all surprised. Like, they never would have thought when they were 6 years old and their teacher made fun of them for not being able to read a word is the reason why they can't public speak or they can't speak up and they're not getting that raise in their job. Like, there is so many things that we don't realize when we were younger, our mind started to make connections to that were related to pain. And if the mind relates it to pain, it's going to do its best to make sure that you don't experience that pain again. So it will give you that panic attack before you're supposed to go on stage, because it's like, I remember what happened last time. We're not going there. That embarrassment, that shame. Your subconscious holds on to that. You didn't consciously make that belief or that program run in the back of your mind, but this is why before the age of 14, especially and age of 7, when you start to make sense of the world, you're just a subconscious mind. Your conscious mind has not developed yet. The analytical and rational part of your brain isn't there. You can tell a 3-year-old that the moon is made of cheese. They will believe you, right? So this is why you have to update that software. You have to change the meanings and the connections that your mind has made. And really, to do it on your own, can you? Yes, but will it take you a long time to journal it out and try and figure it out? Yes, it will. So just like learning any type of skill, you want a qualified teacher, you want a highly skilled mentor to guide you through it. And then once you've done it enough times and you understand how your mind works and how your mind would start to make these connections, you can absolutely process it on your own. So we also do inner child healing and work as well, because again, most of the scenes do go back to the age before they were 14. So we need to upgrade that inner child. And as woo-woo, as hippy-dippy as it might sound, we do all have that inner child within. And if they're wounded, if they haven't processed trauma, it's just like eating food. Your body needs to process it. It's like drinking water. Your body needs to process it. If you haven't processed what happened in your childhood or any pain, where do you think it is? It's stuck in there and it needs to be processed. So there's many different ways to process it, but inner child healing is a wonderful technique, and like the tears just flow down their eyes, but they're like happy tears from the clients, because it's like they get to connect with this part of them, that piece of them that is, I don't want to say broken because I don't believe anyone's broken, but it needs to be broken open, break open. And then we do also like a loving parent technique as well. Not to blame our parents, but if they didn't nourish us the way that we crave, that love, that attention, maybe they were working really hard to provide a beautiful life for us, but kids, like, they need that love and attention. And if they don't get it, they feel unwanted, they feel rejected, they don't feel enough. And when you take those beliefs with you when you get older, it definitely affects your relationships. It affects how you're going to show up in the world. It's going to affect your job and your business, because that inner child is still feeling the pain from when they were younger and had to come up with some sort of belief such as, I'm not worthy of success, I can't have success and love. Like, your mind will come up with that program, and then you're wondering, why do I have this success block, or why do I have this belief that I'm not good enough to do this? These are all things that you can deal with and remove and change the meaning, and RTT offers that beautiful rewiring. Once we do the session, which is about that 90 minutes, then I make you your own personal hypnosis recording, and the clients love this. And I recommend they listen to it for 30 days consecutively, because that's how your mind learns. That's how the neuroplastic change occurs. The new neurons wire and fire together. The new synapses are formed. And they actually listen to it longer than the 30 days. They love it. They get so used to listening to it. It makes them feel incredible and empowered and liberated, and just, I love making them. And you can make your own recordings, and I can go over that for your listeners as well. Just being mindful of like certain words you don't want to use and certain phrases that you would. So that's what a full like RTT experience is. And most clients only need 1, max 3 sessions per issue. Of course, how deep rooted or seated the issue may be. Of course, like chronic anxiety or eating disorders, you would want more than 1 session for that. And your mind locks onto one issue. So if you want more confidence, if you want to stop binge eating, if you want to remove a success block, if you want to weight control, oh my gosh, it's so good for weight control, because diets don't touch mindset. Diets do not touch mindset. That's why 95% of them fail, and you gain more weight back within the 5 years than you went on it. So weight control, it's so good for that. Lost my train of thought there, but yeah.
Been great. Oh my God. I mean, I'm getting so excited because look how many things we can transform, right?
Everything.
Yes, exactly. And we don't have to struggle anymore. How many people struggle so hard with their lives and they just, it's like, oh, I can't do anything about it. It's always going to be like that. I have nothing. I've tried everything. I've tried every diet. I've tried every program. I've listened to, all those recordings and nothing happens because I always go back to my patterns. But you're showing something much deeper. It's like, I love when you said broken open,
Yeah.
right? So we can reconfigure, we can build this new hardware and software, I think.
No, 100%. You're so right. It's just like you keep bringing up the technology thing, and that's such a good metaphor because it's like our phone and our computers. How often do you see that update software button, update software button? Our subconscious needs to be updated as well. It's running on old, outdated, irrelevant programs and beliefs from when we were younger, and it makes you think that suffering is your normal and there's nothing you can do about it. Guess what? When you were born, you weren't born with anxiety. You weren't born with binge eating. You can't force feed a baby to eat more than they want. They'll spit it up, they'll push it out. They are born with confidence. They'll cry when they want to be held, when they want food, when they want to be cuddled. They are confident. A 2-year-old on a playground, they're like, look at me, look at me, look at me. So somewhere along the lines, you acquired this pattern, and because you acquired it, because it is not your true nature, you can free yourself from it.
It's so beautiful, so encouraging, and gives us hope. And my heart's overflowing because this is what we want for people. And we want to make it easy and simple, or maybe not easy, but simple enough so it can be done. So we don't
Yeah.
have to go. Right. Wow. Thank you for explaining all that. This is very powerful. I want to honor your power, your commitment, and your commitment to the bigger picture, I think. That's what happened, this is what I'm hearing from what you say, like really committed to the bigger picture. And I wonder, like if everything goes your way, if you have all your dreams and you see that future for people transforming and using this beautiful technology, where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see yourself in a few years or so?
Oh, I see so much, which is, it's great. I learned this from Dr. Joe Dispenza, to have a compelling future, right? Or else your brain is a record of the past. So my compelling future is I see myself so busy that I can't do one-on-one clients anymore, but that's okay because I can do group work with people. And I want to educate people on their minds as well, like so that they can have one group session with me or program, and then they can process on their own when something triggers them. It doesn't affect them all day, but they can get back into that regulation of their emotions, look at what's happening, ask the questions. Why did this trigger me? What is going on here? Okay, now that I've given them the tools to process it, then they can process it, come back into regulation, and go back on with their day. And I just see retreats with me. I see like a week-long retreat where you get an RTT session and yoga, because I teach yoga and meditation as well. So you get that. And I'm a vegan, so having their vegan meals, and just the ocean and the sunshine is so healing, that to come and bring that all together, I just feel like it would be such a beautiful thing for people to be a part of, and I would love to facilitate that. And yeah, bringing in all my passions together, because we're not just minds, we're not just bodies, we're not just spirits. So something that is a holistic mind, body, spirit approach.
Wow, it's a beautiful vision. And as you were picturing that beautiful retreat on the ocean or on the sea with the breeze and, beautiful food, nourishing for our body, and the beautiful food for the mind and the spirit, and all of it together. It's sort of like creating that heaven on earth. This is what
Yeah.
I'm feeling from you, which is so, so inspiring.
Yeah.
And, but I wonder, so it's a beautiful legacy to be building, because you're providing so much and you're offering and you want to offer. You said, you want to be so busy that you can't even handle it because you want to help so many people, right?
Yes.
This is gorgeous. I just want to acknowledge just the open heart and that eagerness to service, which I value so much too. And I'm just inspired by just you being here now. So yes, so I think your legacy is wonderful that you're building. And if you were asked, so I'm curious now, so what's at stake for you if things don't work out your way? What do you feel like um, is at stake?
Yeah, that's a great question because this was something I was working through. I was like, what is my why? Because I need that compelling why with this big vision that I have. And I feel it in me that if I don't go for this and do this in the big way that I feel called to do, I'm really doing a disservice to the world and to myself. And people, they always say when they work with me, they're like, you're so young, like I wish I would have started doing this when I was younger. So if I can start to tap into the people that are below the age of 30 and start this work now, can you imagine how the world would be? Because when people are healed and transformed and evolving their consciousness, what they offer to the world, it is such a better place. It ripples out, even if just into their children or to a stranger they meet on the side of the road. Like the world just does become that more healed, loving place. And if I don't have my part in that, I would be just doing such a disservice to myself and the people I know that need to be impacted, and people my age, and educating people how important this is. And you don't have to go to the doctors, and you really can find the answers within yourself. I just feel like I need to be that transformational and educational voice for people that might not have seen it a different way, because I was that way at one point. I was just like, no, like doctors know everything and they know a lot and they have their place, and I'm not saying that they don't, but sometimes, well, statistics are showing now that 70% of all doctor visits and ER visits are psychosomatic, and it's diseased thinking, not diseased organs. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, I really can relate to what you're saying. If I can say just a couple words about myself, I also work in the healing profession and helping people with the pain that they have. But it's never just the physical pain. The mindset that we have and the future that we see in front of us, and where we focus our mind and how we utilize our mind in healing, that's 99.9% of what actually is happening. So this is something I think that our society is making this huge shift to actually understand that that's what we have to look into. And I mean, I see you having this amazing part in that. And this is why I wanted to invite you here, because, I feel so connected with that mindset. And, for me too, I see a lot of people who went through everything that they've tried and it didn't help them, and then maybe have a lot of resentment towards what happened in terms of the kind of medical care they got, because it didn't take them anywhere. And just like you're saying, the key point is to actually look into what is our mind doing with this whole thing. How is our mind set up? How is it wired? And is it stopping us from healing? So this is something that I feel like we have to talk about, we have to acknowledge, and we have to spread it out to the public. So I'm very grateful for you sharing this message here. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, it's powerful. And so I see you have a huge legacy and you have a huge why. And not being a part of this movement that's where you lose, right? So that's beautiful. So tell us, what would you like to share with our audience? Is there anything that you may want to offer to those who are listening today?
Yeah, well, I want to teach them a quick little thing if we have time.
Yes, we have time. Absolutely.
Okay, so before I was saying, before you get out of bed and before you go to bed and right before you fall asleep, you're actually passing through that theta brainwave state. And that's when you're conscious mind and your subconscious mind start to separate, and you really go down into that subconscious mind where you're so suggestible. So this is the perfect time for you to either visualize your day in the morning. So if your first habit is to grab your phone and to read your emails and to scan through social media, and if you don't have a cleansed and cleared social media and there's negativity on there, or you read the news first thing, you're fueling your subconscious mind with negativity right off the start, with problems, with fears, with scarcity, with lack right off the start. And that's setting the tone for your day. So I challenge you instead, in this opportune time, think, how do I want to feel today? And how do I want to feel when I go to bed? So if I want to feel accomplished, successful, and joyful throughout my day, that's my lane. That's where I'm staying in. And anything and anyone that tries to steer me away from that, no, 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 because I've mapped out how I want to fall asleep, how I want to feel for that day. So what do I have to do to feel that way? Ask yourself these questions. When you ask your subconscious mind questions, it answers. What do I have to do today to feel accomplished? What do I have to do today to feel successful? Now, not only are you asking your mind and you're getting answers and you're starting to visualize what you have to do for that day, but you're going to bring your body into how you're going to feel. So feeling those feelings of success, of accomplishment, of joy, because now you're aligning your mind and your body together. Because remember, we're not just minds, we're not just bodies. So it's really important to tie the two in together. So feeling accomplished and successful and joyful before even having to do anything, because now you're bringing your body on that energetic and frequency of it already happening. So you know what? You're a magnet now, and you're going to attract experiences and opportunities from how you are feeling, because your feelings are from your body and your thoughts send out an electric charge as well. 5 minutes, you don't even need to do longer, or do a meditation right at that time that will set you up. I can send you a meditation. If I don't know if you can send out my information, I am happy to. I have heart-based ones that aligns your mind and your heart, bringing them back in coherence together. And when your brain and your heart are coherent, you can make sound decisions. Your brain fog starts to clear. You can trust your judgment. You're out of that state of suffering, of tension, of anger, of frustration. If you wake up feeling any of those feelings, you can change that, and you align your mind and your body. And it is simple and it is easy. The hardest part is not picking up your phone and reading the emails if that is your habit. That's the hardest part. The rest is easy. And then before going to bed, this is a beautiful time to make your own recording on your phone of how you want to feel, what you want to, maybe visualizing goals for yourself in the year, because you're priming and prepping your mind and your body always with that repetition. So with your phone, you can make a voice recording note of even 5 minutes of stating a goal that you want to accomplish. What does it look like? Who is there? What do you feel? What are the sounds that you're hearing? Like, put yourself in it, because guess what? Your mind does not know the difference between real or imaginary. Use this to your advantage. So I would recommend your listeners to do that, because guess what? That's free. You can start it today, and you just do it for even 5 days, and I promise you, you'll feel shifts. Some weird synchronicities will start happening, and you're going to take yourself out of that familiar state of suffering, of anxiousness, of worry, of panic, because we've created that. And unfortunately, the environment we live in today will create that for us too. And if you want to work with me, or just book a discovery call with me, I would love to add value just chatting with you and offering as much support in a 20-minute call as I can. You can go to my website, levelup-everyday.com is how you can reach me, or email me, Maegan. Well, I spell my name weird, so I don't know if you have show notes or anything you can put that for people, but it's Maegan.Aleece, Aleece @gmail.com. And if you follow me on Instagram, it's my same name, Maegan Aleece. I always post daily tips, guidance, and tools, how you can just increase your life of enjoyment, because for some reason we're okay with that suffering being our normal state. But I give like really easy tips and tools of how to bring your heart in alignment, how to do a quick meditation. Like I'm always adding different things, the importance of self-praise, like things that people really don't understand, but I'm putting it out there because it is so important for you to learn this, because they're not teaching it in school. So I'm going to teach it to you on the interweb.
That's beautiful. So, guys, what I'm getting is power of questions. What questions that I'm asking myself? Am I asking myself questions that lead me to expansion and to creating the goals that will support me? When am I asking? Am I actually consciously taking control over those times where maybe my brain gets more open, and I'm actually becoming this open channel so anything can get rooted in me. So if we just being unconscious and not paying attention, then stuff gets into us and we become, just sort of really out of control. But if we ask right questions and we really pay attention to those states where we're not fully conscious, but we're open, and we consciously take control over it, and we consciously plant the seeds of what we want, what we desire, what we want to feel, and what we want to be, and what we want to achieve in our lives, we become powerful, as we should be as human beings, because this is who we are. And so I really appreciate how beautifully you gave us those pictures and those this guidance that is simple and easy. It takes some discipline. Everything takes some discipline.
It's like going to the gym. You can't go once and expect your life to change and you have muscles and abs. It's that daily repetition, but you start to look forward to it because it changes how you think and how you feel, and it's always been within you. You just needed someone to give you a little bit of guidance so that you can take your power back. You can feel that power that you really are, just like you mentioned.
That's beautiful. So you guys, taking action is the most important step, because we can think about it and talk about it and like just indulge in what Maegan's presenting to us and giving us those beautiful pictures and those beautiful ideas. But if we don't take this action on a daily, consistent basis with ourselves, it's not going to really do anything, right? We can have a nice picture, a nice idea, but we're not going to change our life. So taking the action is the key. And I know Maegan can help you. And can you tell us again your website and your Instagram, how just to so if anybody wants to write it down, you can.
I feel like I can like put it in my notes maybe, unless it's going to be backwards.
I'm going to post it on Facebook and everywhere where the video is going to be shared.
Okay.
So it's going to be in the comments. Yeah, so just tell us again your website and the Instagram.
You see that? Probably not. Okay, I tried.
-everyday.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then my Instagram, where I post every single day. Again, cleanse your social media feed to positivity, to inspiration, to motivation, because you're mostly mindless when you're scrolling through that social media stuff. And when you're mindless, your subconscious is turned on, right? So you're suggestible, very suggestible at that point. So if you have someone like me on your feed and suggesting the good, positive messages that you deserve to hear to actually help catalyze a change within you. So my Instagram is Maegan, but my name is spelled interesting, Maegan Aleece. And I'm Maegan Aleece, and that's where you can find me. And I love hearing from people. So DM me, message me, tag me in a story, any of that. I always love to reply and create this beautiful community that is forming. And I would love for you to be a part of it.
It's so beautiful. And I mean, you are creating this community. I think we all together creating this community because we care about where the humanity is going. We can make a choice. I think right now we're at this point where we're all making a choice, and it's not about making some huge, big life decisions necessarily, but it's about making that choice every day to, like, who are you watching on the social media? Maybe you want to have Maegan on your social media because she's going to bring you inspiration, and she's going to bring you something that will elevate you rather than bringing you down. and you know, this is your choice every single moment. And connecting with the heart and connecting with what really truly drives us and what really is at stake and what matters.
Yes, you brought up something really, really important, is because our minds, it's a survival mind. You can't trust it 100% of the time because its number one job is to keep you alive. And that is by moving you away from pain. And that's why you fear change, because it's unknown, it's uncomfortable. And your brain goes, change, uncomfortable, that equals unsafe. But your heart is telling you, yes, your heart is saying, this is your desire. This is what you're meant to do, and your brain saying no, no, no. So when they're out of coherence, right? That's why heart-based meditations are so key and so important. That's why removing the limiting beliefs are so key, so important, because when you're younger and you attach pain to success or attach pain to love and you can't find that relationship, it's because your mind is lying to you, but it's doing its job. So that's why RTT works. That's why the heart-based stuff works, because if a desire is on your heart, it is not there to tease you. It is your compass. It is there to guide you. Your head will get in the way if you let it.
Wow, this is so powerful and so beautiful. I'm just very grateful for your guidance. And, you know, here at the Empower Your Health, Empower Your Life TV, we're bringing those amazing people like Maegan, who are the who give us guidance, you know, and remind us every time who we are as human beings. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to be enslaved by, you know, negative patterns of the mind. We're here to follow our heart and follow this beautiful guidance that we have within us, because all we need is within us, as we know. And so I'm so grateful for you being here, Maegan. It's been very powerful, and I think that everybody who listened today has gotten a tremendous amount of value, inspiration, and action steps to take. Remember those action steps of get into a place with your mind where you actually are creating your own goals, where you are creating what you want, and pay really close attention to those times where you may be falling asleep, where you're waking up in the morning, where your mind's the most open and absorbent, where it's actually taking in what's being offered to it. So take control over that period. Do not let your subconscious mind be controlled by something that's outside of you that may be actually making your life worse than it is. So I feel like this was the message for me that I got, alongside with all the different messages and wisdom that you shared to us. So, you know, I'm so deeply grateful to you, Maegan.
Oh no, I'm grateful for you, so that you can bring this to your community and to people. You're the one who has organized this, so I'm grateful for you and what you've organized. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, this is our mission here at the Empower Your Health, Empower Your Life TV, to actually bring those powerful leaders together and share the knowledge and share it into the community so it spreads out, so we all benefit. So
Yeah.
thank you for acknowledging that. It's been a huge pleasure for me. We hope to have you again, and I'm going to share your information in the comments and on social media. Thank you again. And thank you everybody who listened, the audience, thank you for your time. Please share comments, questions, please connect with Maegan. Take advantage of her offer to give you a 20 minutes discovery session. You won't regret it, right? And so we'll be here again. Please join again. And till then, have a beautiful, wonderful day. Do something gorgeous for your mind, for your body, for your spirit, and for your soul. And we'll see you again. Bye-bye.